this is that bit where I suck you in at the start. So this company, good chance it's going to 10x over the next 5 years. Good chance this company could 10x in the next 5-10 years. Same with this company here, International Graphite, and same with Mason Graphite here. So why will these 10x, these companies? Okay, starting off, go down a few roads to explain the story. Lithium. It used to be about $500 to get out of the ground, and you'd sell it for $1,000. Sometimes you couldn't even sell it for the money it cost you to get out of the ground. So companies like this went to next to nothing. Like, they weren't worth much at all. They didn't need what was in the ground. Along comes demand, and that stuff you got out of the ground for $500 now became, you could sell it, get out of the ground for $500, sell it for $5,000. So this company was selling it for, I think, an average of $3,000. They sold some for $7,000 at their auctions of the lithium spodumene auctions. So back here, you went to work, you had a shit day, and you said, "Oh fuck, the stock's gone down." There was no hope. There's no hope here of lithium going up. But you had to be strong in weight. If you knew that it was coming, you had to be strong in weight, and eventually it went like this. You saw your money go crazy. Then you had a shit month there because you lost heaps. But then if you knew the value of the company and how much they're going to make, you might have stayed in. You get the point. So don't go off the chart day to day. Go off what the company's doing, and rough figures is my opinion. So this company, you can buy the whole thing now, $40 million. I think they got $8 million in cash, and they got a huge resource. So you want to pick a company that's going to get into production. And give you an example, this is in Sweden. It's got hydroelectricity. They don't know the work. They got high grade. So compared to this mine here, look how much they have to dig out of the ground to get them. It's like 10 times more at least. Plus, contain graphite. They've got 1.6, they got 3, so they got more mine life. It makes sense to build this mine out for 200 million because it will last maybe 40 years, where this mine might only last you 10 years, and you've spent all the money building it in that place. This might be close to existing infrastructure. So there's better ones among the rest, but also this company costs 400 million to buy, and I like to buy companies that are about 50 million or less that will grow into such companies. So there's two things. You can buy low, as in when the graphite price is low, because right now we don't need this graphite. But I think around 2005, if not sooner, there'll be a shortfall, prices will go up, people getting out of the ground will make more money, people about to get out of the ground will see significant re-rates because people do the maths, and they're making double the price, so it makes them double as good. The price might go up double, could even go triple, because the money, it costs you $1,000 for the graphite in your Tesla right now. Teslas, what do they cost? 60,000, 90,000. If you have to pay another 2,000 for graphite, it's not going to break the bank. So graphite has room to move, and yeah, there's lots of graphite, but you need to spend the money to get out of the ground, and that doesn't happen overnight. So if there's a shortfall, it's probably when you want to sell out, but buy before the shortfall, in my opinion. Obviously, it's case by case. So we'll go through SGA. So they got huge grade. Compare this. You should be, if you want to buy graphite stock, you need to know them inside out. So this is huge grade for graphite, 28.5%, 209 million tons. So that's massive. That's like if it's 60 million tons, people are doing, like, mines are doing 200,000 tons a year. So that's like some crazy mine life, huge mine life. Probably never going to run out. Yeah, so take in mind that is inferred, they have to do more drilling. This company is $40 million with $8 million cash. Huge resource. So good chance. And then in Kazakhstan, which is halfway between China and Europe. So good chance this company is going to get into, oh look at that, they've got 49% graphite content there. So they might have even higher grade for the first 10 years or something like this. So yeah, good chance this company gets into production. And so another example here, this company had a big resource and everything, drilling away, announcements of Octane come, announcements of the government giving them free loan. That's where the money was made. You went from 1 cent to 30 cents. So it doesn't happen overnight, obviously. You would have seen this go up to here and then see it drizzle down. Been really happy, lost half of it, been pretty sad. But if you knew the value of the company, you could have held on. Yeah, so this company here, I'll find the chart. My bad. Give me one moment. So it's a bit down the dumps. Graphite's down the dumps. No one wants it. Take in mind, this is not the right market cap. Never look at Google for market cap. Always look at the ASX website. Yeah, so you want to buy low and sell high. So this company, it's at the start of its journey. Graphite's low. It could go even lower because it's actually at 40 million, 8 million cash. So if things get bad, it could even go to 20 million. So maybe take that in mind if you're going to buy into it, that graphite could be in the dumps for the next 2 years until it starts getting some traction, and then you'll see some things, but you might have your money sitting there for a couple of years and it might go down half and you'll be like, oh, down 50%. So maybe you buy a bit now, you buy a bit later if it goes down more, if you believe in the company. So do your own research. So good chance this thing will get into production, and the growth will come with announcements. They haven't announced offtake yet, they haven't announced partnerships. When that stuff's happened, that's when it runs, and that's where you make the money, in my opinion. Mason Graphite, this thing's been dwindling around for years. They're actually selling their big resource. So where are they? Mason Graphite here. High grade, a lot of tons. But they're selling half that to Navonics Graphite, who it's going to get into production. So Navonics will come up with some money. They do a deal. But regardless, from the 40 million that's cost to buy this company, I see it re-rating quite well. Definitely one that has a high chance to get into production. So it could become $500 million, which is like a 4x. Sorry, a $500 million company, which is a 10x. Same as the SGA. International Graphite is another one. Once again, don't look at this number. Always go to this. So they got a graphite resource and the downstream, and they're in West Australia. Take in mind, these guys got a free government loan or a low loan to build the mine. High chance that these guys do too. So 54 million could go lower in the next year or two, but once graphite takes off, you think it's going to go pretty high. It has a high chance to get into production. Well, I'll give it about 75% chance, this company. So, no, probably higher than that, actually. So, this could come 10x to get to $500 million. Because they spend 100 million on the mine. And then maybe they make that back in... I see graphite, you're not making... It's a 4-year payback period. You spend $100 million. Probably $200 million building the mine. And it takes you maybe 4 years to get that back. But graphite price goes up. That 4 years becomes a 1-year payback period, and that's why now it's down the dumps, and when it gets re-rated, that's why the stocks can grow so much, in my opinion. So another company can 10x. So SGA, pretty high chance getting into production. IG6, pretty high chance getting production. And Mason Graphite, pretty high chance getting into production. All sub $50 million companies. Other ones sub 50 million they get in production. Vault Resources, I think, is more about a $100 million company, but they are already in production. They have a Ukrainian mine. So they're, let's see what they actually at now. So this is what I call a sub 100 million one. Probably getting they're in production already with a small mine in Ukraine, probably earning $5 million from that mine. And then they have this massive resource. Where were they? This one, huge resource here, which will make them heaps of money as well. So Vault Resources, another one, not sub 50 million, but sub 100. Already have producing mine in Ukraine, and then they'll have this big one here. So good chance for them. Magnus, I think they're already above $300 million company, so no thank you. I just want something more growth, more bang for my buck. And Triton Minerals is another one. They got this massive mine taken off them. So that's the thing, if you're in Africa, Mozambique, that can happen to you. Another good one could be BEMASX. So they're 26 million. Let's double check that. BM and the ASX. Pretty good chance to get in production. $27 million. And they probably got 10 million in cash. They have a feasibility study coming up. So if those numbers look good, might raise them. But all said and done, the factor that makes them raise is going to be when Graphite re-rates, because there's not enough graphite to go around and people say, well, give me 2,000, I'm not giving the graphite, etc. Although take in mind, some of these companies need companies to go off-take and give them money to build the mine, so, but you get the idea. When the price rises, so does the stock price rises. And you buy low, sell high. When it's in the dumps, that's when you buy. And when it looks good, everyone's like, oh, graphite, make so much money on this, that's probably when you sell. Giving your numbers, you don't just sell it, you say, oh, these are the numbers, graphite can go back to this price, I paid this much tax, you get the idea. So, another good company, Black Earth Minerals. So, any other companies on here? Sub 50 million, sub 100, Focus Graphite, really cheap. How much they got? 1.8, yeah, decent. Chance to get in production, quite low, a bit lower than the rest, I'd say. Metals Australia, chance to get in production, same as Focus Graphite, they're near each other. So I give them a lower chance to get in production. Although when Graphite re-rates, maybe they re-rate too. Other ones don't know. So there's other ones not on this chart, and probably good ones I just don't know enough about on this chart. Lastly, I'll finish this video with Navonics. Company I bought here for $1. I saw it double to $2 and thought, oh, came down. I knew it was worth more than that. Went up to here, went crazy, and I thought it was ridiculously priced here. Everyone was pumping it. Lucky I sold out on this day when it dropped massively. And then it went like this, but now it's coming back into buying territory because they got $200 million in cash. They do synthetic graphite, so they're going to make 40,000. Well, they're going to do 150,000 tons of it in 2030. And they'll make $5,000 a ton. What's that? 750 million, and maybe they make 10,000 a ton. Who knows? I mean, could be a huge company. So Navonics back in buying territory now. They also have the brain, so they know how to like test battery stuff like that. They have the anode side, which is synthetic graphite, and they have the cathode side up and coming as well. So this is more not a graphite company, but more like a Panasonic or something, because they got some brains and they got some graphite. And they also have a big graphite mine in Queensland that's pretty good. Not sure if it's on this thing. Yeah, if you look into Navonics, they have a natural graphite mine, which they might utilize. Thing about Navonics, they make synthetic graphite, which they do it with hydroelectricity, so that's a bonus. They partnered with this company to get the petroleum coke, or the byproduct from petrol that makes the product. So coming back into buying territory now, I believe if this gets to $1, probably definitely be buying into it, because they got $200 million cash. They got a good plan to do this. It makes sense that they can make this much graphite because they don't get out of the ground, they just make it out of products. Yeah, so Navonics could be a good one. Take in mind, the stock market might go down with these raising rates, and good buying opportunities can come. So you sell when it's ridiculously high, and you buy when it's ridiculously low. So that's it for this video, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.